Hello again, and welcome back to another teen craft kit tutorial. This time we are doing beaded snowflake bracelets. So you can pick up your craft kits right at your local library, and we will have those available if you'd like to come try out one of our kits. So in these bags you will have a snowflake little template, and you will have 3 bags of beads, 2 of your main color, which in this case is gray, and 1 of the off color, which is clear. And then a little bag of goodies, which has your string, and then your bracelet closures, like so. String and bracelet. You have 2 jump rings and the closure there. So I'm going to do like always and bring you down to the table, and we will get started and show you how to do this craft. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to take our string here. And what you will need from home is just a pair of scissors, like so, and possibly some little needle nose pliers if you have them. Not necessary, but it will make it easier. I've got you kind of a weird angle because I'm going to go ahead and tie my bracelet to this so I have something to pull on while I'm working on it. So I'm going to undo this string here, and then we're going to fold it in half. If you guys were here and did the bead lizard craft this summer, it's going to be a very similar process to that, just with a different design. So I found the 2 ends there. I'm folding that in half, and then I'm going to I want to leave a little bit of room, so I'm going to tie just a little bit of extra here so that I have some room at the end to tie on our ends here. So I'm going to tie it twice just to really make sure we're on there and in there. Alright, there we go. We're nice and tight. Alright, and then we have our pattern, and this shows us the design for the bracelet. So the black is going to be your main color, the white's going to be your off color. It is different in kits, different kits. So we have gray, clear, blue, silver. So it's kind of mix and match of those colors. For this one, I have 2 grays and a clear. So gray is my main color. So I'm going to go ahead and just get out a few gray to start with so I don't have to keep digging in the bag. Alrighty, and then I'm going to separate my strings here, make sure they're not crisscrossed at the beginning. And we're going to take 1 gray bead, because you can see here, first row just has 1, and string it through your left side. Carefully here. Now the scissors will come in handy for you. As you bead, you'll probably find yourself needing to trim the ends of your string because they get a little bit dull, and it gets kind of hard to do the beading sometimes. So if you find yourself having a hard time getting the beads through, you may try trimming the ends just a little bit to make new sharp ends. Now we're going to go back through the other direction with the right string. So what I usually do is kind of push the string towards the bottom of the bead so that there's lots of room, and thread that through and pull. And you can kind of see here that when I pull in opposite directions, we get it all the way up to the top. Alright, so that is row 1. So now we continue down the pattern. So the next row has 3 of your main colors. So we're going to do 3 gray. So we'll find the end here. Put 3 beads on. I apologize, I didn't think about using gray on my gray table, so hopefully you can see it okay. 2. 3. And then we'll take our right string and go back through the other way. Now, sometimes I get lucky and I can get these all in one pass. Sometimes I have to kind of go one bead at a time. Whatever works, just make sure that you're going through all of the beads in your row when you do this. I'm going to do one at a time because I think that's going to be easier. Another thing that I find helps sometimes is if you can hold it kind of flat like that. I don't know if you can see, so that they're kind of right on top of each other. Sometimes you can kind of just work them through that way. All right, so pull that so it's even again. And up. Like so. And let me just continue down the row here. So I'm going to do a couple more till we get to that first row of colors, and I will pause and I'll come back and show you that, just to kind of let you know what it's like when we're switching colors. So I will get to that row and we'll come back and work on a row or two with the second color in it. Okay, we're back and I've done the first 4 rows that are all the same color. So now we're going to do the first row that is changing color. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3 of the main color, a off color, and then 3 more of the main. So it works the same way as what we've done so far. So we're going to do, we'll throw them on the floor apparently. One, 2, 3, and then off color, so we're going to do clear in this case. Maybe I can do it without dropping it. And this is just the top point of that snowflake, and then 3 more gray. 1, 2, 3. So there is that string. We're in, again, same as always, move this up so we can actually see it. And then bring my other string through the other direction. And bring our little tricks there, pushing the string towards the bottom, trimming if we need to, and then even kind of pushing the strings flat against each other to make it easier to go through after that first bead. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and trim this edge here. It wasn't great when we started, so we'll go ahead and do that. Oh, much better. Much better. Okay. Let's try our little flat string trick here. See if we can just get those to fall right on. That would be handy. Ooh, oh. Ah, did it. All right. All right, now you can see that sometimes that kind of happens where it just kind of gets pulled. You can just go back and fix that. You want to pull them tight enough that they aren't falling off, but not so tight that they're bending. And this will kind of correct itself as we continue to go down with our new color. So what we're going to do with this is continue to go down this pattern doing like a snowflake chunk at a time, and I'm just kind of comparing it to your wrist. This is a size that works, excuse me, it's a little bit big for me, which I know works for most people because most people don't have as tiny of wrists as I do. But just kind of keep working around until you get as many snowflakes as is closest to your wrist size. So you want it so it's not bigger than your wrist, but as close as you can get. Now remember, we are going to decrease it down at the end there, so that gives you a little extra room, and you can even add just a couple single rows if we need to. But we're just going to keep working down the pattern, repeating the same snowflake motif over and over again, and then just kind of comparing to your wrist to see where we're at. So again, easy process, just kind of time consuming, so I'm going to cut and work on this, and then I will show you where I'm at when I think I'm done, and we will go from there. Okay, we are here and we're back, and this is the finished bracelet. Pretty subtle as far as the snowflake goes, but when this light shines through it, it's very pretty. So I made this a little big for me, but I wanted to just have something a little bigger on display because my wrists are tiny. But I went ahead and finished it off, decreased down 2 at a time at the end, just like we did at the beginning, and then just tied it with a couple little knots. So now what we need to do is we need to put on our closure. So this is the actual closure for your bracelet. So we'll take one of these jump rings. This is the point where if you had pliers, it might be helpful. I'm going to try to do it without it because I don't really think it's necessary. Kind of just get that a little bit open there. I don't know if you can see that. And then put it through this little bottom hole there. And then close it back up. So if you don't have tiny fingers like me, a little pair of pliers might be good, but otherwise you can get that on just like that. All right, and then we've got just a ring for the other side. So take this side here and let's do our bracelet clip end. And we're just going to tie this on just like we did tying it at the end, just with a couple of knots there. Nice and tight. All right, and then you can see that that's on now. You take your scissors and just trim the ends. And then we're going to take it off of the other side here. Okay, take 2 here. So I made a mistake, and when I cut it off of this, I cut too close, and I didn't have any string left. So I actually backed it up a row, whoop, and slung beads everywhere, which is kind of a blessing because it's more my wrist size now. But just be very, very cautious when cutting the string off of whatever you have it tied to because you don't want to end up like I did. But it worked out okay. I just backed it up and did one less section of the snowflakes. So, anyways, lesson that is always, people always can make mistakes, even if you think you know what you're doing. Alright, so we're going to do the other end here. Do just the end with the loop. And tie a couple knots again. One and two. Alright, give that a little tug, make sure everything seems to be on there okay. And then once again, we can trim the ends. Just be careful trimming. Don't be like me and cut off what you don't mean to cut off. Alright, there we go. So, there is that. Took a little bit of trial there to get that on, but there we go. all on. You can see the clasp there. Again, it kind of worked out for me that I messed up because that fits me much better now. So, hope that you guys enjoyed and that helped you out. If you had any questions, be sure to come pick one of these up and enjoy your new year. Thanks. Have a good one.